When you think of Tokyo, what comes to mind? Probably the bright lights of Shibuya, yeah? Or maybe the big red lantern at Sensoji and Asakusa.
Yeah, those are the classics, the iconic spots.
Exactly. But what if I told you there's this whole other district, one that even folks who've lived in Tokyo for ages often miss? It's got this really captivating past, a charming present, just a totally different vibe.
Mm-hmm. You're talking about a place that really distills that old shitamachi feel, right? That downtown traditional Tokyo essence. But yeah, definitely off the main tourist trails.
That's the one. It really paints a picture of Tokyo many might just walk right past.
Yeah.
So today we're doing a deep dive into Ogu. That's OGU, a pretty unique spot in Arakawa Ward.
Okay.
Our mission basically is to unpack Ogu's really interesting journey. I mean, you went from farmland, like ancient farmland,
Right.
to this unexpected pleasure district phase.
Yeah.
Then some darker times decline.
Yeah.
And now it's this quiet, kind of community-focused
All
place.
quite the roller coaster.
Totally. So we'll dig into the history, but also point out some, hidden gems for anyone wanting to see a more maybe authentic side of Tokyo.
Sounds good. And maybe just a quick heads up before we jump in properly.
Yeah, please.
The place we're talking about is Ogu, OGU. You might also hear Oku, OKU, but that's actually the JR station nearby, and technically it sits over in Kita Ward.
Okay.
Yeah, just a little thing, but helpful to keep straight as we explore Ogu in Arakawa Ward.
Good call. That could definitely trip someone up trying to navigate.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's unpack this. What was Ogu way back? Like, before all the drama, what are its roots?
Well, if you go way, way back, like Kamakura, Moromachi periods, Ogu wasn't just the small area it is now. It was this big region called Ogu no Sato.
Ogu no Sato.
Yeah, spelled with different characters sometimes. And it was huge. Covered areas we now know as Oji, Machiya, Higashinopori, even Negishi.
Wow, so much bigger.
Exactly. What's kind of amazing is thinking how this now fairly compact district was once the core of this larger, probably quite important agricultural area in Tokyo's very early days.
And the name Ogu itself, I heard there's some interesting ideas about where that came from. What do they tell us?
Yeah, there are a few theories. It might come from ugi, meaning like big eater, maybe, or possibly oku, which means interior or back.
Back, as in
like the back country of Toshima District, or maybe even the back of Edo itself. It kind of points to its location historically, on the edge of things, a bit removed from the main center.
Okay, that makes sense.
And you can still find these little echoes of really ancient land use. There's this stone marker, the Jori no Iseki no Hai, near Ogunishi Elementary.
What's that mark?
It marks traces of the old Jori land division system. We're talking Nara period, like over 1,000 years ago. Finding that tells you this was clearly flat, organized farmland way, way back, long before Tokyo was Tokyo.
That is incredible. Seeing physical evidence like that.
Yeah.
Under the modern city. So, okay, centuries of farming. How did it start to change, maybe moving into the Meiji era before things got really wild?
Well, by Meiji, yeah, things had shifted a bit. Ogu was essentially a farming village. Ogumura, it was actually known for growing burdock, gobo.
Gobo, right.
Yeah, so still quite rural, quite separate from the bustling city center that was developing, just a quiet, productive farming spot.
It's hard to picture that quiet farming village suddenly becoming, well, you called it an unexpected pleasure district.
Yeah.
What on earth happened? How did Gobo Fields turn into hot springs?
Okay, this is where the story gets really unique. It's 1914 Taisho era. There's a monk at Sekyunji Temple that's near today's Miyamai Station.
Okay, a monk.
Yeah. And he decides he wants to make shochu, the distilled spirit, so he tests the local well water.
Right, for shochu brewing.
Exactly. But instead of finding good water for shochu, he accidentally discovers it contains radium.
Radium, seriously.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And instead of, being worried, he has this amazing entrepreneurial spark. He completely changes plans and opens a hot spring bathhouse right there.
A monk finds radium and opens an onsen.
Yeah.
That's quite a story. I bet that changed things fast.
Oh, massively. This temple hot spring, the Terra no Yu, became famous almost overnight as Tokyo's closest onsen.
Makes sense. Easy access.
Especially once the OG electric railway opened, that's the old version of today's Toden Arakawa Line tram, suddenly people could easily get there.
Right.
It's just amazing how one sort of accidental discovery, like radium in the water, could totally transform a quiet village into this bustling, maybe slightly notorious entertainment hub. Really shows that Taisho energy,
Definitely. So it became official.
Yeah. By 1922, Ogu was officially designated a senyuchi, a pleasure district. Before the Great Kanto earthquake hit, it had something like 300 to 400 places, restaurants, inns, geisha houses, the whole setup.
That's a huge boom. And you mentioned Arakawa Amusement Park,
Right.
which is like super wholesome and family-friendly now.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that started back then, too.
It did. Arakawa UN opened in 1922 as well, but it wasn't really for kids initially. It was more like a health resort.
A health resort.
Yeah, with big bathhouses, entertainment. It was directly linked to this thriving pleasure district. It's kind of wild to think about now, walking around there with kids. It's a real historical witness, shows how places change.
That's truly fascinating. But like you said, things took a darker turn. The district got famous for something else entirely, didn't it?
Sadly, yes. Things shifted.
Oh.
In 1936, Showa era, Ogu became infamous as the setting for the Abe Sada incident.
Yes, the notorious murder case.
Exactly. It happened at one of the inns, the Masaki Makiai in Nishiogu. It absolutely shocked the whole country. And weirdly, it made Ogu famous, but in this dark way, people actually started making sort of pilgrimages there.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, and all this was happening while Tokyo was under martial law after the February 26th incident. Just adds another layer to the intensity of that period. It really shows how one event can just stain a place's reputation.
And the source of all the prosperity, the hot spring itself, that eventually disappeared too. That must have been the final blow.
It really was tragic. The hot spring just dried up. Post-war Showa era. It was a direct result of all the factories that had moved into the area.
Industry?
Yep. Pumping out too much groundwater. It caused the ground to sink subsidence, and the water levels just dropped. The onsen was gone.
Wow.
And with its main draw gone, the whole Sanyochi scene just rapidly declined. Most of the original buildings from that era are gone now. You can still find a few hints, like the Atami restaurant near Odai Station, and of course, Arakawa UN, but it's mostly vanished. It's kind of sad how fragile that whole boom was.
And I guess, like everywhere in Tokyo, the war itself left scars, too.
Definitely. Ogu is actually one of the first parts of Tokyo hit by air raids in World War II.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And if you go to Ogu no Hora Park today, the ground there actually contains burnt soil and rubble from the bombings. They built the park right on top of it. It's kind of a stark symbol of resilience, I guess. Rebuilding right over the scars.
So after tracing this incredible up and down history, how do we actually connect with Ogu today? It sounds like the best starting point is that tram line you mentioned, the Toden Arakawa Line.
You're spot on. The Tokyo Sakura Tram, they call it now. It's the last streetcar system left in Tokyo. Riding it is like stepping back into the Showa era. It's living history, moving at a slower pace.
And it's not just a novelty ride, right? You said it's actually pretty useful for getting around.
It really is surprisingly well connected, despite the old school charm. It links up to several major JR and metro lines at different stops.
Like where?
Well, from Kumanome, you can hop onto the Nippori Toneri liner, head west towards Oji. You've got the Kihin Tohoku and Namboku lines. Go east, Machiya connects to the Chiyoda line, and Minobashi connects to the Hibiya line.
Oh.
So yeah, it lets you explore really flexibly. That nostalgic ride can actually be your gateway to tons of other places in Tokyo.
That's great info for anyone planning a trip. And for the photographers listening, any specific cool spots or unique views along the tram line?
Oh, definitely. Check out the intersection at Kumanome. That's where the Toden tram line crosses over the tracks of the modern Nippori Toneri liner below.
Oh, cool. Old meets new.
Exactly.
Right.
It's a pretty rare sight in Tokyo, and yeah, train buffs and photographers love that spot. And if you want more tram history, there's the Todenomoi Hiroba, the Memorial Square, at the Arakawa Car Depot. It's free on weekends and holidays.
Nice. And I think I read some more about flowers along the track.
You did. It's a lovely touch. They've planted something like 140 different types of roses, about 13,000 bushes total along the line.
Wow.
Yeah, when they're in bloom, it's really beautiful. Adds this unexpected bit of color and charm to the ride through Ogu.
Okay, from the gentle tram ride, let's talk about another classic shitamachi experience, the sento, the public bath. You hear Arakawa Ward is a sento paradise. Is Ogu part of that?
Oh, absolutely. It totally lives up to the hype. Ogu has several really great local sento. If you want something clean, recently renovated, good for families, I definitely point you towards Ume no Yu.
Ume no Yu, okay. What's special about it?
Well, it's got nice open-air baths, medicinal baths, those relaxing sleeping baths, but the real bonus, it has a free sauna.
Get out, a free sauna at a sento. That's amazing.
It really is. Such a treat. Makes it fantastic value. Perfect way to relax after walking around exploring.
Definitely noting that one down. What if someone wants something a bit quirkier, more old school, perhaps.
Right. For a more, let's say, distinctive experience, there's New Ebisu. It's definitely quirky. Be warned, the water is usually seriously hot, like 41, 42 degrees Celsius, maybe even hotter.
Whoa, okay. Not for the faint of heart.
Probably not. It's got a big layout, a free steam sauna too, but the look is just really vivid, bright colors, and the main bathtub is right there in the middle of the room. Very dramatic. It's an experience, you won't forget it. Proper old Tokyo Sento style.
Sounds memorable.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond soaking, I guess the shopping streets must also have that old-time feel, that shitamachi vibe.
They really do. You've got Ogu Ginza and Happy Mall Kumano-me. Walk down those streets and it feels authentic. Lots of traditional shops still going strong. Greengrocers, butchers, tea shops, hardware stores.
The real deal.
Exactly. And what's important is that these aren't just tourist traps or museum pieces. They're working shops serving the local community. It really shows the resilience of that local Ogu spirit and economy. They're proper neighborhood hubs.
And naturally, we have to talk food. Any must-try local bites people should look for on those streets.
Of course. Food is key. Definitely look for the butter cakes at Yogashi Sikia. They have ones called Grenoble and Sikia Roll that are pretty famous locally.
Butter cake's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Savory options.
Oh, yeah. There's a great little place called Tenfuji that does delicious takeaway tendon that's tempura on rice. Perfect for a quick, tasty meal.
Yeah.
And if you just came from that Sento, Ume no Yu, right next door is Umekyo doing yakitori. Perfect post-bath snack.
Convenient.
And here's a fun local connection, the actor Ando Tamae. Her family runs a tonkatsu place called Donpei in the Miyama Shotenkai shopping street. Just shows those deep community roots.
That's cool. So beyond the baths and food, Ogu also has parks and maybe some quieter spots reflecting its past.
Yeah, definitely. We mentioned Arakawa Amusement Park. Already remembering its journey from that adult health resort to the kids park it is today is pretty wild. They even have capybaras you can interact with there.
Capybaras. Okay, that's a change.
Right. Total reinvention. Then there's Ogunahara Park, which is huge. Great for walks, picnics, cherry blossom viewing in spring. They have a special festival for the weeping cherry trees, the Shibazakura Matsuri.
Lovely. And you said it has historical links, too.
It does. That's where you can find the remains of an old windmill structure from the Tokyo Boseki textile factory. Just this concrete ruin standing there, a physical reminder of Ogu's industrial phase, right in the middle of the green park. Layers of history everywhere.
And for a bit of quiet reflection, maybe something older.
There's the Ogu Hachiman Shrine. It's ancient, supposedly founded way back by Minamoto no Yoritomo. It's survived fires, earthquakes, everything, a real symbol of endurance.
Wow.
And it has this absolutely magnificent giant ginkgo tree. It's a protected tree for Tokyo. And in autumn, it just turns this incredible gold color, a really peaceful, powerful spot.
Sounds beautiful. And I think you mentioned a literary connection, too. Someone famous lived there.
That's right. The author Dazai Osamu lived in Ogu for a short time, just after World War II.
No way. Does I?
Yeah. So you can kind of wander through the quieter residential streets, see the old wooden terraced houses, the Nagaya and the narrow back alleys, the Rohira, and just imagine him walking those same streets, maybe drawing inspiration from the everyday lives he saw around him. It adds another layer, connecting with the city's literary soul.
That's really cool. So bring it all together then. What's the takeaway for someone listening? Why should they consider exploring Ogu?
Well, I think Ogu just offers this incredibly unique mix. You've got the deep history, the ancient roots, that bizarre transformation into a pleasure district, the darker times, the decline, and then this rebirth into the charming, family-friendly place it is today.
It really captures that shitamachi spirit.
Totally. With the tram, the sento, the local shops, it feels real. And practically speaking, it's known for being pretty safe. The cost of living is a bit lower than some other central areas, and there's a strong sense of community.
So it invites you to just slow down a bit.
Exactly. Slow down, explore, connect with a side of Tokyo that maybe feels a bit more human, a bit more grounded. It's a genuine hidden gem waiting to be found.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Like, what hidden stories or transformations might be happening right now, quietly, in the ordinary-looking corners of our own cities or neighborhoods?
Yeah.
Things just waiting for someone curious enough to look a little closer.